This is really messed up, but this is how the game works. And I'm going to break down how I stay so stoic, how I stay so calm, and how I was able to become a seven-figure investor in the crypto asset class and outside of cryptocurrency by not following the get rich quick, by not being on the hype train and controlling my emotions and studying history and how actual patterns work. Remember this. First, they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Draper, you're now in regulation and joining phase. As we go into regulation and joining phase, we're going into full blown adoption where TradFi, traditional banks, are going to become crypto banks, and crypto banks are going to become traditional banks. We're at about 3.7 trillion in the crypto market, and the global markets are over 100 trillion. So we have a lot of growth ahead of us. But the key factor to this is how people get wrecked as they try to come in and get rich quick with unrealistic expectations. They don't know why they're investing. They just ask what to invest in. They don't have a game plan, and they don't understand how we always get invited in when the infrastructure is built, and it's often too late. So I'm going to show you a phase thing that I built out for you guys to help you understand how my brain actually works and how Trump told us that cryptocurrencies used for money laundering, nefarious activities, and said he was a dollar guy in 2017, 2018. Jamie Dimon told you it was used for nefarious activities, and he wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, paraphrasing. Larry Fink, the largest asset manager in the world, and I'm going to show you facts, figures, numbers, logic on how they shape the narratives. And then when they're ready, they invite you in. Now, the beautiful thing is with the internet and things like this is that we can actually play in the game. But what happens is because media manipulates you and you get indoctrinated through the media, television tells you a vision, channels information, programs you, that you often come in when it's too late because you get told it's for money laundering, it's a fraud. If it's for money laundering and fraud, then why is the Trump family one of the largest holders now? Why is BlackRock the largest holder in the world outside of Satoshi in Bitcoin? But let's break down what is actually happening. So I built this out for you guys to help you understand how my brain works and how I make my financial decisions and why XRP and Bitcoin are my number one and number two holding. I don't do it off hype. I don't do it off emotion. I do it off logic. So this is what I built for you guys. This is BlackRock and Bitcoin from criticism to crypto leadership. And if you're in the Warrior Academy, I'm going to go in really deep on this in the generational wealth building call on Thursday. So over the past decade, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has shifted from outright skepticism towards Bitcoin to becoming one of the most influential players and shaping the future of the crypto ecosystem. Phase one is public dismissal. Okay, this is always the phase one. Remember, most of the most disruptive technologies get sued by the SEC, hence Ripple. They beat the SEC, but they were sued by the SEC. Many major companies that became some of the biggest investments in the world got sued by the SEC, or the elites caused massive skepticism and dismissal. So phase one was 2017 to 2018. Write this down. Public dismissal. In October 2017, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink famously called Bitcoin an index for money laundering. At that time, he dismissed it as speculative and high risk. Even in 2018, while acknowledging blockchain's potential, Fink stated that the company saw no reason to be involved in cryptocurrency. This is 2017, 2018. Phase two is always quiet positioning, 2020 to 2021. This is when I started coming into cryptocurrency, early 20. I started positioning myself and I started seeing what was going on because this is the stuff I pay attention to. In December 2020, Larry Fink hinted, there's growing interest now, saying that Bitcoin had caught the attention and imagination of many. Just 1 month later, BlackRock filed with the SEC to allow two of its funds to invest in Bitcoin futures, its first step into the space. Phase three is strategic infrastructure builds. They start building the actual infrastructure. This is 2022. Look how quickly it changed from 2018 to 2022. Remember Trump around the same time, 2017, 2018, told you he's a dollar guy, to crypto? Jamie Dimon and Larry Fink. Jamie Dimon, they have their own blockchain technology, their own distributed ledger technology. They are now allowing their wealthy clients to invest in Bitcoin. And JP Morgan is going to allow clients to leverage their Bitcoin at their bank in 2026. Trump's family is becoming one of the wealthiest families in cryptocurrency specifically. Phase three is strategic infrastructure builds in 2022. April 2022, BlackRock led a 400 million funding round for Circle, the issuer of USDC, a stablecoin, and became its primary asset manager. That's kind of interesting. You think Bitcoin's a fraud and all these things, but you're becoming the primary asset manager for a stablecoin company. By August 2022, it announced its partnership with Coinbase cryptocurrency to give institutional clients direct exposure to Bitcoin, the very thing you told us was a fraud that's used for money laundering. Shortly after, BlackRock launched a private Bitcoin trust for US clients. Phase four is public endorsement. Okay. Now the infrastructure is starting to get built. They're starting to get their hands involved in it. And then public endorsement and ETF push. Okay. They always say Larry Fink and BlackRock is one of the greatest advertisers or marketers for Bitcoin. So 2023, this is when I started getting involved in Bitcoin. So XRP is my number one holding. Bitcoin's number two. I got involved in XRP early 2020. I was introduced in 2019. Took me a while to come around. Early 20, I got involved, 2020. June 2023 marked a turning point. BlackRock filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF, sparked global attention. The same month, Fink referred to Bitcoin as digital gold and an institutional asset. That's a big change, guys. A massive change, openly embracing it as part of the financial future. Okay. Now, to give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they saw the change, like, hey, we made a mistake. Maybe. I don't know. I would love to hear your comments down below. Or were they quietly building the infrastructure? Bitcoin was created in 2009 at the biggest financial collapse in history. BlackRock was tapped to balance out the Federal Reserve in 2008 and 2020. Okay. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa is working to de-dollarize starting in 2009. And then Bitcoin is created and we don't know who Satoshi is. And now BlackRock's the number two holder. And remember, Larry Fink, as a trusted advisor in the past, has worked with Trump. Think about this really quickly. So all of a sudden, Trump comes back and runs as the Bitcoin capital of the world and the crypto capital. This is all good stuff. This is fantastic. When they're quietly positioned, when they have the infrastructure, then they start to invite you in. So in 2023, Larry Fink announced their Bitcoin ETF. And then by 2024, they launched it. Now they're the number two holder in Bitcoin, and they're the top 20 ETFs in the world. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF is the fastest growing ETF in history. Okay. Trump family has made almost 600, almost 700 million in wealth in the last 18 months in cryptocurrency. Go do your research on how much wealth they've built in real estate and hotels and businesses over the legacy of their lifetime. And I believe in the next 24 months, they're going to build more wealth in crypto than they've ever built their whole legacy in real estate and hotels. That's my opinion based on the price appreciation coming up. So what's ahead? 2024 to 2025 and beyond, with ETF approvals expecting and tokenization of real world assets accelerating, BlackRock is positioned at the center of a shift from traditional finance to blockchain powered systems. They're literally at the center of it now, guys. Okay. We thought we were running to decentralization and they've built the infrastructure and now they're bringing in the system. David Schwartz said it the best. He said, where are you going to go? You're going to go the 5% that own cryptocurrency in the world are going to convert the 95? No, you go and you build the infrastructure where the 95 is. Okay. The system has always been the same. They get you drunk in the Coliseum. The Trojan horse comes in. You're going to wake up in 2030, whether you deny this or not, and you're going to be operating on blockchain distributed ledger technology without even knowing about it. You're literally going to be transacting on cryptocurrency and blockchain. Your card, you're going to swipe and you're not even going to know you're operating on a bridge currency. It's going to be this decentralized system where public and private sector come together. So the key takeaway that I want you to take from this, so you don't get played in this and you don't try to get in rich quick and you build a fundamental portfolio and you build long-term horizons with short-term profit taking, and understand, okay, it's very important. You understand your emotions are the markets. When you're panicking, we're buying. Okay. When you're celebrating, I'm profiting. I just followed what they did. It made me a millionaire in crypto and it made me a millionaire outside of crypto. Warren Buffett said it the best: buy when there's blood in the street. They literally tell you what to do. Robert Kiyosaki gives you hints all the time. The cash flow quadrant. I built out the cash flow quadrant. Richest man in Babylon. Okay, all the resources are there, guys. This is our opportunity. So when you have these huge liquidity events or profit I do profit taking. People just sit there and ride their portfolio up and write it down. I strategically pull profits, which I'll explain exactly what I do. Key takeaways. BlackRock journey shows how major institutions shape narratives. First, they dismiss it. Then they quietly position, then they dominate. For retail investors, it's a reminder by the time you're invited in, they've already built the foundation. Okay. So this right here, I want to show you guys what's going on with the markets. This is Merlin. This is our demo account here. Okay. So I'm the co-founder and creator of Merlin. This is what the markets look like right now. We're at 120% in Bitcoin, about 1% from its all-time high. Ethereum's making its run. Usually when Ethereum pumps, you go into an altcoin season, right? Another hint right here is your Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance just dropped under 60%. So here's what I believe is going to happen, okay? What I like to do is I'm a profit taker. I don't just sit there and ride these up and write them down. I built a machine inside and outside of cryptocurrency. So what I do is I profit take. We can show you how to set up an exit plan. So down below, you can click and get 30 days for free for Merlin. In my social media platform, you click the link, you can download Merlin for free for 30 days. It's an interface, okay? We don't hold your keys, we don't hold your crypto. You can see all your cryptos in one place. And you can actually set up a profit-taking plan, okay? We actually pull profits. Now, let me explain what I do. Bitcoin, I'm never touching, okay? There's 4 components. Write this down. I focus on cash flow. I'm only going to tell you what I do. Cash is trash. I don't store cash. I focus on cash flow. Every time I get paid from I'll back you guys up. From 2020 and 2020, and back before 2020, I was in banking, went to school, got a job, 401k. That's a vertical strategy. Well, what happened to our parents and or some of your grandparents, mostly your parents, in the housing collapse in 26 to 28? They worked their ass off for 30, 40 years, and then they're about to retire, and boom, irresponsible lending literally collapsed the stock market, and they couldn't retire. That's a vertical strategy. You're relying on one strategy. And then some of you, like I was in 2020, I had a business. I was in the business, hadn't scaled it. One business and crypto. And what happened? They came and shut down my business in 2020. So it took away my ability to feed my family. Now I have this crypto sitting there. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to sell my crypto. And I said, hell no. I was like, I am not touching that. I need to figure out how to create cash flow. I need to figure out how to diversify. I need to learn the risk pyramid, right? High risk, high return. Okay. I think it's ridiculous. If you get this amount of return, money compounds every 7 years at 10%. That's the 8th wonder of the world. Cryptocurrency, this like portal opens up where I got 800% on my XRP over the last 4 or 5 years. I got 200% on my Bitcoin. Okay. So I'm going to share with you how I've done this to build legacy for my family, cash flow, and how I'm building protection to protect my principal, and then how I'm using it to richest man in Babylon. Okay. So first is cash flow. Okay. I always take my income and I put it into cash generating dividends. Okay. I have cash generating businesses. So that's my earned income. Then I have passive income, cash generating dividends. Okay. You have ones that are high risk all the way down to low risk. Okay. Then we have we have the cash flow. Then we have our deflationary assets that have fixed supply. Okay. I invest in things like Larry Fink's doing, like Trump family's doing, right? These things have fixed supplies. Bitcoin is 21 million, never can print more. XRP has a fixed supply and it's deflationary. It burns every single time a transaction goes across it. Okay, so I transmute my cash flow into deflationary assets that grow over time. So I call them supercharged savings. And then every single month, I pump money into my cash value life insurance premiums. And then I have my leverage component. Now, let's start with Bitcoin. I'm never selling my Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in the leverage category over here. So Bitcoin, I'm not going to get my biggest bang for my buck, but it grows 50% every year. So I store my US dollar in Bitcoin. Okay. From there, my insurance is creating a leverage component. So when I profit from these crypto assets, the altcoins, all other coins outside of Bitcoin, I profit take 50%. I'm holding 50% for legacy. I pull money off the table. I max fund the policies first. What does that do, guys? It creates a leverage component. So now I'm multiplying money. Does that make sense? So people pull profit, they buy a Lambo, I pull profit and I buy leverage. Put in my cash value life insurance. And now that $1 became 2, richest man in Babylon. It's into the policy. Now I have the cash flow that I can borrow against tax-free to do what? To buy more cash flow, buy more assets. When those assets go up, borrow, buy more cash flow, pay off the leverage. Okay, so here's an exact example of that. Bitcoin, I borrowed low leverage to buy my insurance brokerage. Insurance brokerage is paying it off. In April, that will be paid off. I will take low leverage again and I will buy cash generating dividends. I will wait till that's paid off. And now I just have this cash flow machine. I keep creating cash flow every single month, every single quarter, every single year. And I've been doing this since we profit took in 2022. Okay. When the markets came collapsing down, I had pulled about, I wish I would have got 50% out, but I got about 30% out and I built empires outside. Okay. Now that's rich. Legacy wealth is multiplying this. Okay. You get the cash flow flowing, you get the deflationary assets rocking, you get your wealth protection with your cash value life insurance, family banks, and then you have the leverage component. Then it's important. You don't buy the Lambo. You don't buy the boat. Finally going to be getting a boat, guys. I'm very proud of that. But guess what? It ain't going to be paid for by my family's future. There's plenty of money coming from assets now that I can buy the boat. I have different ways that I can monetize it in regards to through businesses and things like that. But I waited patiently. So now my family will not suffer because of a luxury that I get to enjoy. And my family gets to enjoy an amazing wake boat, but it's paid for by an asset. Patience, persistence, discipline, consistency, done for a long enough period of time to access that new paradigm. This is our opportunity, guys. What I want to help you understand is this is your moment for financial freedom, to create cash flow, to allow that opportunity for your family to never have to suffer again or trade time for money. Eventually, we want to get out of that model where we're trading all of our energy, all of our time for money, but we're transmuting our money into free up time. Remember, God, family, protect your ecosystem at all costs and stay out of other men and women's business. You're too busy working on yours. So I love you guys. I hope that helps. I just want to give you my frame of mind. I want to show you guys because we're getting so many messages. I want to make sure you guys have the resources that you need here. Let me see. Will this come up real quick? Share this tab instead. Boom. There we go. Okay, so people have been asking a lot of questions. So first of all, I have the free education section on my channel. But if you click my social media platform or you go down the description of this video, you can actually do a live call with my team, a free call. I have a live workshop where I take you through all the things that I just spoke about in detail. I show you exactly what I do. I don't give you a fish. I teach you how to fish. Okay, that's a free live call with my team to understand the processes we can take you through. We also have our own insurance brokerage where we teach people how to create family banks. We teach people how to properly max fund these things. We teach you how to properly. So the cash value life insurance, you got your whole life, which I call it like a tank, right? It's slow and steady. You got index universal life, which is the one that I use, like driving a Lamborghini. You got to drive that thing. Okay. It's flexible. You got to move. There's different components. Everybody's different. I really dislike when people just throw people in every single policy the same. That's not how this is done. These are living, breathing documents that can really help your family. And so I have an elite team, and that's why we created our team, to help you understand how to properly set these up, how to create a family bank, and how to use these properly to leverage to create cash flow. Okay. And then we have Merlin right here. If you click right here, you can download Merlin 30 days for free. Okay. And we can help you set up a profit plan. So we have all the resources you need to be successful. And also, if you're just starting out, there's tons of free content. You have my free section where I break down all this stuff. Just want to help as many people as possible. We've helped 13,000 people worldwide, and we're very proud of that. And we hope to be your families next. We appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. God bless you.